All right, so today is going to be a very important session. And yesterday we talked about the common interview question that you can ask your interviewer. Today we're going to go over common questions in general. And I'm going to give you some samples, and then we're going to open it up, and I want people to take part. And let me start off by, I'm pretty sure most of you have gone through the program, and we're adding videos almost every single day. But I'm just going to show that in case you have not um, done much on it. It's always good to have a visual. So let me just share that screen. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, where is that? Okay. Dashboard. All right, so let me find, I always forget. Okay, so share screen. Okay. All right, can you guys see the screen? All right, so the first thing you do after you set up your login, student dashboard, okay, residency interview mastery, and this is what you see. You can turn this on and off. You can speed up and down, so a couple of options. So most of the modules have multiple templates depending on the nature of the question. So tell me about yourself. Usually the video is for internal medicine. However, we have, let's say, template answers for family medicine. We have otherwise more template answers for internal medicine, pediatrics. Okay, and mark as complete when you're done, when you say that, okay, I'm done with this, I'm using this question as my template to further and plug in my details. So similarly, 3 strengths. So you have different templates for multiple specialties, so far covering internal medicine, family medicine, pediatrics, neurology, psychiatry, and general surgery. Weaknesses: why do you apply to this program? What do you like about our program? Why do you choose this specialty? Where will you be in 5 years? Why do you have a low score in the USMLE Step 2? What makes you stand out? Interspersed are ethical questions. So definitely have a look. And I think we have a group session coming up on ethical questions. But I just want you to see this so that if you haven't, go over this. Definitely not copy paste exactly. Plug in for yourself. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I'm going to present a few questions, and then we'll go over to you guys. And even if you want to open up the program and just read a template answer, fine with me. But I just want the people that are here today just to go through the process. I'm pretty sure you have already worked on your interview preparation. Whatever you want to do, it's good for you to practice. The more you practice, the better it's going to be. Okay, and everybody's learning, so not to worry at all. All right, so stop sharing. So I'm going to start by giving you guys a tell me about yourself. And since I do see that we have family medicine people applying to family medicine, in yesterday's session there were quite a few people applying to family medicine as well. So I just want to give a tell me about yourself answer for family medicine. Okay. All right. So, hi, thanks for asking about myself. And yes, of course, my name is Umar Khan, and I am from 𝐓𝐨𝐻 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐫𝐯𝐢 Medical College in Pakistan. And thank you for this question. I've always been passionate about serving my community. And my journey to medicine was inspired by my experiences growing up in a medically underserved area. And from a young age, I saw how difficult it was for many people to access healthcare. And I knew that I wanted to work in a specialty where I could build long-term relationships with my patients and improve the overall health of the communities, which I saw a huge deficiency in where I grew up. And then down the line, during my clinical rotations, I was particularly drawn to family medicine because of the continuity of care it provides. And I love the idea of treating patients at every stage of life and being part of their healthcare journey over time. And I do remember one of the most rewarding experiences I had was working with a family who was I helped care for their newborn. I managed their mother's postpartum health, and I also supported the father through his chronic disease management. It was incredible to see how family medicine allows me to impact an entire family, their health and their well-being. And I'm truly excited to pursue family medicine because I believe it's a specialty where I can truly make a difference, both in individual patients' lives as well as within the community. And again, I will never forget how grateful the family was when we managed to find a solution for the father's diabetes while also supporting the mother's postpartum recovery. It showed me the power of comprehensive family care, and it solidified my passion into the specialty. Okay, so I try to make it a bit more a little bit more lively. Okay, not to sound robotic. And you can do whatever you want. You can practice in front of a mirror. You can practice with a friend, but you do need to practice that. You need to try to come out naturally. So Raja has a question. Yes.
Yeah, sir, I have a question and I have a confusion. There are the mixed reviews. Should we tell them like our name is starting from our name, like my name is Suraj or Raja, and somehow like that?
Um.
There are the mixed
Yeah.
reviews. I have gone through multiple like videos. Some are saying that you should not tell them because your CV is with them, so they know your name from where you are. So,
Yeah. It's up to you. There's both sides of it, and you can say, of course, my name is Raja.
mhm.
Sorry, Suraj Raja.
Yeah.
Um. But of course, you know that. You can say it like that. Just be conversational, or you can not say it. It's fine. I mean, I've been saying it, and I've been doing it. It's up to you. If it makes it easy for you, it's fine. If not, it's well and good. No worries.
Uh,
Up to you,
sir,
whichever style you
sir,
want to apply.
for me, do you suggest me should I tell my literal meaning in English like Suraj means sun, so it will be like a communicative,
Oh,
maybe
definitely,
sunflower, like something like
definitely. Yes, you can say it.
that. And
You can
sir,
definitely say it.
and one more question from you answer that you mentioned like family medicine in the like answer. It, like seems like that you are explaining why family medicine more than tell me about yourself. Like should we put on like family medicine in the answer? Why we are liking family medicine and tell me about yourself?
Um, yeah, yeah, you're you're actually right. Um, you're actually definitely right. Definitely more about yourself as well. Definitely more about yourself as well. Um, um, yeah, I think I may have misspoken about it. But yeah, but I mean, definitely. Now that I recall, I think I may have spoken more about the tell me why family medicine answer. I think I got the family medicine thing in my head. But I think you probably got a gist of it in a way that, okay, how should you actually frame it? How should how should you frame some of these questions? It's all about just being lively, being more communicative, um, uh, um, be more approachable. Don't act as if you memorize the whole thing. um and Yeah, so um yeah, that's, I think, should be very important, that you don't come out as robotic. You come out as frank and approachable.
Okay.
Yeah, I do agree. I think I may have mixed up with the questions, but I think the
Yeah,
main point is be approachable, be as communicative as possible, um as um um as lively and not robotic, because a lot of people will be memorizing different questions, especially these questions, but come out as natural as possible.
yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I have a confusion. Thank you for
no, that's
answering.
fine, that's fine. No, I yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I definitely agree with you. um let's do three strengths. um and Yeah, let's work on an answer for three strengths. And one question that always comes up with three strengths is that hey, these seem like the same strengths. But the point is that that's it. You are human and everybody has the same strengths or weaknesses. But you have to give an example. You have to exemplify why that strength is a strength for yourself. Okay. So, all right. So the three strengths. Let's talk about this. A good question, and yes, definitely. I thought I would become this question will be coming up in my interviews at least once, and I've thought about this, and I believe that my three strengths include communication, organization, and empathy. And first, communication, I believe, is key to patient care, especially in internal medicine, where complex information needs to be conveyed clearly. And during one of my outpatient clinic rotations during my final year, I encountered a patient who was struggling to follow their treatment plan due to confusion about their medication. And I took the time to walk them through each medication, explain its purpose, and ensure they felt comfortable asking questions to me as well. And this approach not only improved their compliance, but also built trust with myself, which I believe is crucial in patient care. And secondly, I mentioned about being organized. I believe I am highly organized, which has helped me manage a busy schedule and stay on top of my responsibilities during my rotations, as well as in my family life. And I did have some demanding family situations. But for example, while managing multiple patients at a hospital, I created a structured workflow to ensure that I could complete my notes, follow-ups, and update patients on effectively and timely. And I do believe that my organizational ability allows me to stay calm and focused even during hectic shifts. And during my internship year, I definitely faced numerous situations, and I do believe I was able to work very adequately. And last, empathy that I mentioned, and I do believe empathy is central to how I interact with both patients and colleagues. And when I was doing my emergency medicine rotations, I cared for a patient who was emotionally distressed due to a diagnosis. But by listening to their concerns and showing genuine empathy, I was able to provide not only medical care, but also emotional support, which helped the patient feel heard and understood. And I believe empathy helps us treat the whole person and not just the symptoms. So just to recap, yeah, I believe my strengths are what will help me further in a residency program. And I love to bring all of that to the table. Thanks for asking this question. Okay. Any thoughts? Any other viewpoints? Okay, Mohammed Allah has a hand raised.
Yeah, Dr. Omar, I've been seeing your videos as well, and I just want to go back to the start. I'm sorry, I tried raising my hand back then as well. Just one thing that I'm pretty confused about is you always mention that you have to make a sort of have a repartee, have some sort of conversational flow with the interviewer, and that really helps. But one thing that I was really confused by, and people have been giving diverging opinions on this, is how do you start to get easy into the interview? How do you start to have that joking attitude, or maybe look a bit like keep it easy, keep it a bit informal, rather than making like giving off bad vibes? Like you said, you can easily say like you mentioned an example in which you said you could say, but you already know that. That is a bit of a joke. And would that have a negative effect, or can you just go into it being very having a very light-hearted conversation? What do you think is the best way to approach that?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that will be negative. If you come out natural, again, practice this. Practice this. And every question needs a transition opening. For example, for this three strengths question, instead of going into the answer, I start off by saying, I definitely knew that this was a question that I would have to answer. And I did prepare for it. And yeah, and I did think about this and I just want to talk about this. And these are my strengths and why. Let me just talk about it. So yeah, conversational. Don't just jump into the answer. Be conversational. And so I agree with you. It's a bit more easier if you're doing physical interviews. You're walking in, they're calling your name. You're saying, hello, hi, how are you doing today? How was it getting here today? It was great. I found a place nearby. I stayed overnight. I had lunch last night at that restaurant. It's a bit more easier. But on online interviews, when they come on board, and it's always difficult for non-native English speakers to be more colloquial, to be more friendly. But yeah, I say practice every question, transition sentence, and practice being cordial. Practice 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 your jokes, because you don't want to use those jokes the first time in that interview.
Yeah,
because it will come out wrong. It will come out wrong, right? So practice with every single question. And
okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just if you open up, okay, say, hey, hi, doctor, how are you doing? Great to be here. Thanks for this opportunity. I love what you have done so far with this, with your interview day today. I loved hearing about your presentation. Yeah, please go ahead. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here. I'm all ears, and I'm here to answer any questions that you would have for me. Give an opening. Give a nice opening. Give a frank opening. Practice your opening. Practice your opening. Give a frank opening. Practice your opening. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. All right. Moving forward. Let's do 3 weaknesses. So let's do 3 weaknesses. All right. So good question, and I know this was a question that would be coming, and definitely I have prepared for this, and I do believe that my 3 weaknesses do include my emotional attachment and involvement, difficulty with delegations, and I've also noticed in the past public speaking. And to start off with, going a bit more detail, I intend to become emotionally involved with my patients. And I noticed that initially during my medical school years. And initially, it did make it difficult to maintain a professional boundary. And during one of my rural family medicine rotation, I worked with a patient diagnosed with a terminal illness. And I did become very emotional, and I got emotionally invested in their case, which made it hard for me to maintain objectivity when discussing end-of-life care. I've since definitely noticed that, and I've worked on it. And I've worked on strategies to maintain an emotional distance, such as regular reflection and talking of the case in a more objective manner, while still providing compassionate care. And I've worked on this, and I've definitely noticed a marked improvement, and I do think I will carry this forward. Then I mentioned delegation. I do believe that delegation had been a weakness of mine. I've often felt that it was easier or quicker to complete tasks myself rather than delegating them to others. For example, there was a busy rotation when we were managing multiple patients, and I realized that trying to do everything alone was not sustainable. And I've learned to trust my team members more. And this was during my final year. And we also had a third year medical students as well. And I learned to trust my team members now, and I make a more conscious effort to delegate tasks, allowing everyone on the team to contribute effectively, and we get the job done in a much better manner when I'm delegating. And I've learned this, and hopefully I will carry this forward as well. And then I've always noticed, and I do believe this is a common fear, and public speaking has always made me nervous, particularly when presenting in front of large groups. And this was a problem for me initially during medical school. I always had feelings of nervousness, which did affect my confidence. However, I have also worked on this, and I've done this by volunteering to present more often, case presentations, poster presentations, and you can see that in my CV as well. I have numerous presentations that I have mentioned, and I have gone from being confident in smaller groups to even larger groups, and this has of course helped me gradually become more comfortable with public speaking. So yeah, definitely, I do believe that emotional involvement, delegation, and public speaking had been issues, but I've definitely worked on them. And you can see, you will definitely find me a much more solid individual. And I've gone through this journey, and I'm going to be continuing to make improvements down the line. Okay. All right. Okay, so any thoughts on this? Okay, I'll just move forward. I'll just move forward, and the next topic, the next question, why did you apply to this program? So this is a major question, right? And we went over a program yesterday, and sort of that got me thinking about this type of question. And let me present an answer. And you can see the different aspects that I'm looking to plug into this answer. Yeah, so let's start. All right, good question. And I know it's a very important question because I definitely chose to apply to this program. And having since then applied, I've looked into this program in more detail, and I love the presentations that you've had, and your website is of course a top notch, and it provided me a lot of information. And surely I chose this program because of the strong mentorship opportunities and the focus on fostering professional growth that is clearly evident through your presentations as well as through your website. And of course, I've seen during my clinical experiences that I've learned how crucial mentorship is to a resident's development. I see you have a very well-structured mentorship program, and that has definitely attracted me. And then I've seen that the opportunity to collaborate closely with my mentors, especially in subspecialties like nephrology and infectious disease, which are the fields that I'm interested in exploring in the future, I believe this will be invaluable to me. In terms of training, the curriculum here appears to be robust and significant hands-on training, especially when I read about the point of care ultrasound training. That definitely is a major draw for myself. I saw firsthand during my ICU rotations how important is an ultrasound device that could help change and improve clinical management. And I am eager to home in on these skills during my residency, hopefully here. And the program's flexibility through individualized electives, such as cardiology, critical care, this definitely perfectly aligns with my future aspirations of pursuing subspecialty fellowship and learn as much as possible. And then I also saw that you have a strong structured support for research. And this combined with ample opportunities for hands-on learning, this will, I believe, surely equip me with the skills I need to grow clinically as well as academically. So definitely, I think it's a no-brainer to apply and interview with confidence to this program. Okay, so you saw initially, I gave 2-3 sentences of transition before I actually got to the answer. And I mentioned different aspects, and all of these aspects you will find in their website or in their presentation, right? You can also add aspects. Okay, I'm in the geographical area. I love this area. Yesterday, we talked about a program. We looked at where the program was. We saw that the program was on the periphery of Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati, Ohio. And it was near downtown. It was near a river. It was near a amusement park. So you can add all of that into the mix. And we went over Google Maps, and we saw where the restaurants were, that I'm a foodie or whatever, and I like Mediterranean restaurants, and we picked out different Mediterranean restaurants. And We can even say, oh, I saw that restaurant and I think that's going to be a restaurant that I will be frequently going to. So this question can be, needs to be concise, mentioning very important things that interest you, and you can add these additional things on that are not related to medicine. Okay. So yes, yes, Abdullah.
Yeah, Dr. Umar, is it all right if we're asked this question and we say that, look, you know how IMGs, we tend to apply broadly, but there's a few programs that our seniors were raving about because our seniors have joined your program and they have nothing but good things to say. That's how I started to know about your program, and then just go into detail.
Definitely, if there's a program, there are seniors that you know about, you can say they have nothing but positives, and this is what they told me about the program.
Perfect.
And you can mention some details that are true. Don't fudge things up. Yeah. Ask them what are the
Yeah.
positives.
Yeah, okay.
Ask
Okay.
them what are the positives. So because they will know if you say something wrong, they will know. So they will know what's right and wrong. So
Yeah, don't make things up. I get it. Okay.
if you have seniors, you know somebody in the program, he said, yeah, I know this guy. He said, yeah, definitely interview at this program, and gave me some of these details that included this. And yeah, that's all I need. What else could I need?
That's perfect. Yeah, okay.
Right? Okay, great. Yes, Hamad.
Hello, Dr. Omar. My name is Hamad. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question regarding your previous answer, that what are your strengths? What are your three strengths? So my question is, you answered all the strengths regarding the field of medicine, which can be related to the field of medicine. Can we describe our strengths, which are outside the field of medicine, but these are our strengths or maybe interact related to your medical field? Because I think it gives them a realistic idea that he's not just making up these strengths, he actually owns these strengths. Like if I told them one of the three strengths are outside of the medical field, so can I do that? Like
For
can I
example,
do that? Can I tell them that I do multitasking in my whole med school? Like I am doing different, like if I have a work experience, or if I am like supporting my family business as well, and concurrently doing my studies, and participating in different extracurricular activities. So can I add this answer
you
to
can
this strength?
definitely add it. And yeah, you can definitely add it. And you mentioned that you are supporting your family business. Does that mean you're supporting the family business right now? Will it interfere with with your residency or not?
Okay.
So you have to be clear. You have to say that in the past, I was supporting my family business as well as studying, as well as in med school, or whatever you want to add. You can definitely add it. Yes, that's perfectly
Okay.
fine. And they may ask you, what was the family business? So you must be able to talk about it.
Okay. So we can add strengths outside the medical field, right?
You could. Um, and it should circle back to it being a strength for you in medicine.
Okay.
But sharing something outside that is interesting and peculiar is perfectly fine. But don't suggest that you're still managing the family business. That you should say, yeah, that was back in the day. That was done and all good. Yeah, don't say that you're still managing the family business. So
Okay.
they will say, oh, you will be a resident, a good resident. Your attention will be diverted. So they don't want anybody's attention to be diverted. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just don't say you bench 225 and they'll be like, okay, but what does that have to do with medicine?
Yeah. Well, I do a good CPR.
Yeah.
So can I also add that I have a good social skills? I would be loudest person in the physician lounge. I am more talkative. I can interact with people much, and I can be a good team member as well.
So loudest person, you know,
More talkative person, not louder, but more talkative person. I would love to interact with people, love to know about them,
okay,
and want to learn their positive things like that.
got it. Those I would be careful, and that's why if English is not our first language, I would recommend write your answers down or look at my templates, okay, and play around with it. To
I would
say that you're
like to
loud
add,
and talkative, people in the US may not like that. You can say I'm engaging.
Okay.
instead of loud and talkative. I
Okay.
personally would not want to have a loud resident. Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to have a resident that is talkative. I want the resident who is stable, right? You
Yeah.
can say I'm very interactive. I get along with
Okay.
people. I make friends easily. I'm approachable. I'm
Okay.
helpful. So just be careful. Just be careful of what you're saying. It's very good to ask. It's very good that you're asking this. Yeah, great.
Okay. I will note down these things. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay.